Although the Chiefs won a Super Bowl less than 2 years from today, they are a much different team now and have many wondering what happened.
Ball's out. Oh, the ball is out. He lost it.
Ever since Mahomes' MVP season back in 2018, the Kansas City Chiefs have been considered one of, if not the best teams in football. That year, they were an OT away from a Super Bowl appearance, but it didn't even matter as they made it all the way the following season. With a Super Bowl in the Duffy after only a few years with the Mahomes at the helm, it seemed like Kansas City was the next dynasty with Brady leaving New England. Well, 2020 seemed to reinforce that idea after the Chiefs were able to make the Super Bowl once again. Considering they were coming off a Super Bowl win, it was looking to be an exciting matchup against a dominant Brady-led Tampa Bay Bucks. In what was anything but consensual, the Chiefs got demolished, and from the start never had a chance. Okay, so they got smoked in the biggest game of the year. So what? At least they made it there, is what many, including myself, thought following the humiliation. It's not too crazy to expect one of the supposed best teams in the league to be back the following year, but this season hasn't been good on them at all. Going 2-3 through your first 5 games is never good to see, and seems ridiculous considering how well Kansas City has played the previous few seasons. Losing to not just Baltimore, but the Chargers and Bills is not something the 2019 Chiefs would have done, and makes me question just how good they really are. I know the games for the most part, outside of Buffalo, were close losses, but the Chiefs shouldn't be in this situation in the first place. How does a team with arguably the best quarterback, tight end, and one of the best wideouts in the league do this? The answer to that is some pretty crummy defensive play. Instead of being a unit that teams would fear about playing, it seems like whenever they play anyone that's pretty good, they end up losing. Although they were able to beat Cleveland week 1, the following 4 games they went 1-3, and they were only able to beat Philadelphia. Let's just say the Chiefs are not the same team that nearly won 3 Super Bowls in a row. What happened to the once great Chiefs team? Well, let's find out. Kermit the Frog himself, Patrick Mahomes, to many seems to have fallen off. Although you would think he's putting up rough stats, Mahomes has still been able to do his thing, with the second most touchdowns in football and a top 3 QBR in the league. Not too shabby of a stat line for someone who has supposedly washed up. People see him throw a pick and expect him to be fallen off, but quite the contrary. Instead, he's producing well and is still able to put up points onto the board. The problem is he isn't getting help on the other side of the ball. Outside of the game I'm watching right now against Washington, the Chiefs defense has allowed 30 points each and every single matchup, with the one exception coming against the Browns when they gave up 29. Trying to put up more than 30 points every single game is far from easy, and so it makes sense why Mahomes has struggled this year. Never has the struggle been more obvious than against Buffalo. From start to finish, Mahomes was not able to do anything, and had a season worst 61.1 completion percentage along with 2 picks. Outside of that dumpster fire, Mahomes has done pretty well, and the only other team to really give him a run for his money was the Chargers. Although he passed for over 250 yards and 3 touchdowns, his underwhelming 61.4 completion percentage and 2 picks kept the team from taking the dub as they lost 30-24. For the most part, outside of that game, Mahomes has done pretty well, and throughout his other 3 performances, he has passed for 11 touchdowns, along with only 2 picks, and nearly 1,000 yards. Against Cleveland, Baltimore, and Philly, the team went 2-1, and looked like themselves. But whenever they go up against teams like LA and Buffalo, you see their true colors, and although they still look like a playoff team, they may not be in Super Bowl contention anymore. Hey, by the way, if you're enjoying the video, it'd be awesome if you guys could subscribe. But anyways, back to the vid. Like I said before, the Chiefs defense is not the same team as they were in 2020, and honestly, they weren't even that good that season. Last year, the team barely won their last 7 games before week 17, as every single matchup was within 1 possession. Beating Tampa Bay and New Orleans by a few points makes sense, but almost losing to Carolina, Las Vegas, Atlanta, and Denver is just not acceptable, and a lot of times they were only wins because of a pick or turnover made late in games. Throughout the past few years, the defense has stepped up and made big plays to keep them at the top. Now those plays are not happening as much, and those wins are turning into losses. 99 times out of 10, they're going to lose to Buffalo. But against LA or Baltimore or whatever, they could have won with some help on the other side of the ball. Through the first 5 weeks, the Chiefs have allowed the 5th most rushing yards per game, and it's partly due to the fact that Chris Jones changed positions. Going from interior to the edge to help the pass game has left the run game vulnerable, and although a problem, it's not the only thing hurting the team. Injury after injury has kept the Chiefs' defense from consistency, and studs like Frank Clark, Charvarius Ward, Tyrann Mathieu, and the aforementioned Chris Jones have all missed time. Maybe when all these guys get healthy, the defense will be able to step up a bit, but it seems like they flop against legitimate talent. One of the key reasons as to why they're struggling so much is the underwhelming play by safety Daniel Sorensen. Allowing a nearly 130 quarterback rating when targeted is pretty awful, and by far the worst of his career. In fact, it was so bad that the Chiefs started Juan Thornhill over him against Washington, and it seems to have paid off. Like I said before, I'm writing this during the Chiefs game, and the team just won 31-13, and the defense allowed under 25 points for the first time this entire season. So hey, maybe they're turning a new leaf. But Washington is far from a good team, and although it seems like the change at safety and motivation to get back in business has them looking better, they still haven't shown up against good competition. Against the Bills, they were unable to get much pressure at all, but against an underwhelming Washington offense, they were able to dominate. So maybe it's just situational. Anyways, throughout their first 5 games, the Chiefs have played 4 contenders and gone 1-3 against the fellows. So I'm guessing the defense is just meh and only steps up against bad competition. Nonetheless, the Chiefs are not looking like they did before, and I have a feeling that a lot of it comes down to some rough play by the defense. Looking ahead, I think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs and do whatever, but I don't see them as a contender as of now. Unless they show me otherwise, it seems like the team can only beat bad or meh squads, and when they go up against talented teams, they struggle quite a bit. Squads like Tampa Bay, Buffalo, LA, etc. are all just on another level as of right now, and will be until Kansas City reestablishes themselves. Over the next 7 weeks, the Chiefs have the ability to go 7-0 outside of maybe some tough games against Green Bay and Dallas, so they have the chance to make themselves known. But what I'm really looking ahead to is their matchup against the Chargers in Week 15. Although a few months away, I think it could be an indicator of whether or not they grew as a team, and if they win that game, I think that they are back. But until then, I guess we can only wait and see. Do you guys think that Mahomes and the Chiefs have what it takes to be great again? Comment down below your thoughts and why. Anyways, Kansas City was the best team in football only a few years ago, and now it's really just up to them as to whether or not they will be again.
Big chase, able to elude, and now will run for it, and he finds it!
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, it'd be awesome if you all could subscribe, like, and comment down below what stuff you guys want next. But anyways, see you all soon, and peace out.